Hello all. In this session, we'll try to understand what is AWS Sagemaker. So it sounds quite different since we have not heard much Sagemaker, something unique one. So fine, we'll go and try to understand what exactly it is and why do we use it and how it is going to benefit us and all. Okay, so this will be the agenda of the session. We'll try to understand what is SegMaker and why it is used, how does it work, and more and about we do have something called Unified Studio domain along with the advanced one with an AI. Okay, so we'll start with what is AWS SageMaker. So SageMaker is a fully managed service provided by the AWS that enables data scientists and developer to build, train, and deploy machine learning models at scale. So the main objective of going with the AWS SageMaker service, we can do AI ML work. So that is, if you have the data and to analyze the data and all things, we'll be going with Redshift. But to do even more building the models, for example, we have nowadays we all have come across the AI. So for all the AI, there will be some machine learning models to be trained. So based on that, the artificial intelligence will go and work. So we need to feed data to artificial intelligence. So before we feeding any data to artificial intelligence blindly, so we need to work on that data. So how the model to be trained and what kind of data to be provided, and so data in the sense it cannot be of 100 sample data or 1,000. At least we require to have minimum of 1 million data, 2 million data. For if you want more accuracy, you need to provide more data to be trained like that. So this is where the SageMaker will help us to do all those things. Okay, so since we will be going with 1 million data, so the storage will be required more, and we want high processor things to be there to process or to train the module and to deploy the module, to build the module. For each and everything, we require very high infrastructure. So we cannot go with minimal infrastructure. So if we are thought of investing on high infrastructure, it will be more cost, and we required to set up all the things from the scratch. It will be more expensive. So to overcome all those things, AWS has provided the AWS SageMaker, so which will help us to build, train, and deploy completely machine learning models at scale. That is, it can scale up and scale down based on the data we will be providing. Fine. So it simplifies the entire ML cycle, including data processing, data training, hyperparameter tuning, deployment, and monitoring. So it's not only restricted for building, training, and deployment, but it is also been used for data processing. So when it comes to data processing, so we need to clean the data because we cannot well, we are planning to train some model, we need to provide the proper data. We don't want to provide any empty cells of data or the misvalues like things, so that could leads to malpractice, or I mean the failure, or the we can not achieve the more accuracy also. So even for data processing, like data cleaning, like all those things can also be done. So the module training, hyperparameters tuning, and deployment as well as monitoring. So once we have deployed the our ML module, so we need to keep observing that bypassing the external values, whether it is working or not, like all those things. Even that can be achieved using the AWS SageMaker. So probably for to just run the ML application, we may require to, if you are going with on your own system, means you need to have the Anaconda environment, and you need to install many dependencies to run, and you need to require the packages to be downloaded respective. It will take time, right? And even for storage and fetching the data, you need to maintain different directories, everything. So those can be optimized here. So why it is being used? So end-to-end ML lifecycle management, that is, it provides tools for every step from data processing till deployment and monitoring the models. You need not to additionally go and install the dependency, is not necessarily required. So everything being taken care by the SageMaker itself. And scalability I just mentioned, right? So for training any kind of models, we, that is especially the ML models, so we need to have the huge data samples. So we cannot go and train some model and expecting more accuracy. We cannot do with the minimal data. So we required a very huge number of data. So for that, the scalability is very much important and easy to use. It reduces the complexity of setting up the ML environment by providing pre-built Jupyter notebooks and built-in algorithms. So the SageMaker environment or the platform will going us to provide the Jupyter notebook. Even you do, if you don't require to install any Jupyter application or the Anaconda environment or the IDE. So inbuilt, if you are using the SageMaker, you will be having that options. And even more, it is cost effective. So pay as you go pricing help us to optimize the cost. And since it's a AWS ecosystem, we will be going inside that is an easy integration with other AWS services like S3 for storage and backup things. We can go and DynamoDB for table like things and Lambda to initiate any calls. We can go with other. How exactly it is going to work? So we will be having the three major steps here, or the process, where the initial is preparation, where data preparations involves gathering, cleaning, formatting of data. That is the cleaning process of use SageMaker data library for pre-processing. So here they will be using the SageMaker data Wrangler for pre-processing, that is cleaning, gathering, formatting the data in the proper manner, everything, and store data in S3. So they will be going to store the data in S3 and connect to SageMaker for analysis. So once the preparations have been done, automatically the data will be stored in S3, and thereon the SageMaker will be further proceeded with the data. Fine. Next, build and train. So use SageMaker Studio or the Jupyter Notebook. So we required an IDE, right, or the UI things to pass the commands or the code to do our things, right? So we'll be using the SageMaker Studio or the Jupyter Notebook. So whichever is comfortable for you. So select from built-in algorithms, or you can go with the custom algorithms also. So it's completely up to you based on what you are training. So train module using the SageMaker's managed infrastructures and optionally perform automatic hyperparameter optimizations too. And another final stage is deployment. So once the training has been done, that is building your model, post gathering of data and training, so we can deploy the model using the SageMaker endpoint. So endpoint is where we can able to access the resources. So enable real time or batch inference, like if you want to analyze the data, like how ChatGPT and Gemini is working. So what are the questions we will be asking, and if we are providing some inputs to that, so that the data backend, the backend process, it will going to train based on the user input. So like that, we can also enable real time or the batch inference. So monitoring deploys model using the built-in capabilities like watching the logs. You can go with the CloudWatch also. So we just understand why do we require SageMaker and how we can make use of it and what are the benefits of going with SageMaker. And here we saw some going with the studio like things, right? So we'll go and see SageMaker Unified Studio domain we do have. So the initial, the SageMaker is completely same and unified studio domain. What exactly it states, we go and see. So it's a central hub that organizes and manage everything you need to work on machine learning projects in Sagemaker Studio. Here is why it is important in simple terms. So, for example, let us understand that if some team is working on some AI project, that is, we can go with ChatGPT itself. So, not one person is going to work on the ChatGPT. So, there are hundreds of people who are behind the ChatGPT things. Who fine. So, we cannot, the one cannot go and manage, or one cannot go and build all the things. So, it's necessarily required to have it, right? So in that case, we require to have the environment, okay, or the namespace we can call it. So here they call it as unified studio domain like things. So if you are building the ChatGPT, they go and create the name, that is the domain name as the ChatGPT. Under that, they go and do the related module training and collection of data. Everything related to ChatGPT will be done in that. So no matter whether a person is doing or the 100% is doing there or not, we cannot. So we cannot go and create different platform for each the employees or the developers. So under one platform, they will be provided to do all the things. Okay. So one place for everything I just mentioned, right? So it gathers all the tool you need for ML. So what are the tools you require to do all the model building, gathering the data, processing the data, testing and deployment, everything under one place, and separate workspace for everyone. So collecting of data preparations is completely the other team is going to handle, and training will be done by another team, testing will be done by another team, deployment and maintenance will be done by other teams, right? So we cannot go and have each platform for all. So under one roof, they're going to create everything. So if multiple people work on ML in your organization, each person gets their own workspace with their setting and file. So in one workspace or in one studio domain only, that is the under the chat GPT of root domain, so they will be having the different things. So instead of creating chat GPT 1, chat GPT 2, chat GPT 3, or the chat GPT training, chat GPT preparation, chat GPT testing, so under chat GPT they will going to have multiple sections. Team collaboration. So by this, all other teams will be having the access to the ChatGPT domain, so that if they want any clarification with respect to other teams' process, they can go and look into that. Okay, so teams can easily share notebooks, dataset results within the same hub itself. So keep things safe. So since all the related steps are kept under one domain, there won't be any chance of data leakage. Since other than the team who is working for ChatGPT are not authorized to access to the domain, and saves your work. So any changes been done by some other person, it could be very hard to find out. So, but when it comes to this, each and every transaction will be marked. Okay, next is scalable power. So it connects to powerful computer resources. So you can handle everything for small, that is from small experiments to large scale ML models without managing the hardware. That is scalability. So based on the data you are collecting, you can just simply go and train and process the data irrespective of bothering the storage. Everything is being backendly taken care. Next is what is SageMaker. We understand why do we require domain here. So post that we'll go with the SageMaker AI. What is artificial intelligence or something like that. So SageMaker AI refers to the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. So here both things are included. Service provided by the AWS, that is Amazon SageMaker. So which is the cloud-based platform for designed to make training, deploying the machine learning models easier and faster. So the same thing with the added on AI. So same things they are trying to explain here. We use it for data preparation, model training, deployment, and monitoring and optimizing the things also. And under the platform of SageMaker AI or the SageMaker, we do have the application or the IDE things being provided here. So for different work, we will be having the different IDEs. So we need to choose according to our workflow. Okay, so if we are going with studio purpose, so centralized IDE for end-to-end workflow. So if we are choosing the studio IDE means it will be ideal for centralized end-to-end ML workflow. And why it is needed? Combines all SageMaker tools in one interface for easy access. That is enables collaboration, real-time experiments, and management of models too. If you are going with Canvas, purpose no code ML tools for business analytics. So here you need to pass the code, Python based code. But here they do already have some models which are ready to be used, but you need to choose based on your data. So allows user without coding skill to build ML models using simple drag and drop features, makes it accessible to non-developers also. People may join for analytical business analyst or the Power BI roles who are not aware of much of the scripting things. So even they can also go with building the ML models also. Next is R Studio. So purpose ID data for scientists and statisticians who prefers R programming. So this is the advanced one for right, and why it's needed. So provides an environment trailed for advanced data analysis and virtualization with ML using the R programming language. Supports integrations with other SageMaker features too. And next is tensor board. Purpose is completely for virtualization for deep learning metrics. So we do require metrics like for analyzing the data, how when it is coming down, when it is going up, for all those things we do require. So why it's needed? So helps in monitoring and debugging the neural networks by visualizing training metrics like loss, accuracy. So when we are going with neural networks, so it's very necessary to have the data gathering is more and very much important when it comes to neural networks. So it's completely going to recognize based on the point matrix things. So essential for developers working with TensorFlow model. So the TensorFlow is the Python model used for neural network training things. Okay. Next is profile atoms. Purpose tool for monitoring and optimizing the model. So here to monitor your ML and AI based products or the deep learning things, they do have the inbuilt platform that is the tool profiler for monitoring the things. Another one is notebook. Probably you people already know what exactly the notebook is. So it's an interactive environment for coding data analysis. It's something that is nothing like your Jupyter notebook. Okay, next is partner AI apps, purpose third-party tools and the application integration. So if you have any other third-party application apart from or is outside the AWS ecosystem, we can go with here also. Okay, so next here we have a very minute theoretical based of prediction of house prices. Okay, so first we need to prepare the data. So what should be the data contain? That is the data. What data should be contained in your data set? Example that is houses price with features like area, number of rooms. So your basic data should contain what is the dimension of the house and how many beds and whether it is furnished or semi-furnished and what is the area where it is located and how many floors you have, everything. So subject to that, the prices will be fixed, right? So like that. So we need to either create the data or we can collect the data. So load the data into SageMaker. So we need to load the data. So once the data has been loaded, so model training. So in here only we'll be going with data formatting, data cleaning, everything. So once we all done with data related preparations, we can go directly for building the model. So choose the built-in algorithm likes. So for if you have the custom algorithms, you can go with it, or else you can just choose by looking into the descriptions of the algorithm. So why it is used, why this algorithm is being used. So based on that, we can go with predefined algorithms. Also, XG Boost or the custom model. So use SageMaker Studio to split the data setting to training and testing sets. Train the model on training set. Okay. So we are completely related to the building our own algorithm and training the model. Next is model deployment. So once it's been done, you are expecting the accurate value or somewhat related the output, so we can go and deploy the model. So deploy the trained model to an endpoint for testing. So on that case, anyway, we will be providing in the search bar, we will go and provide, right? So this is the 3 BHK, or if you are going with buying the used house, and you will provide the inputs like this is the area and the dimension, this is the age of the house, and it will go and it will revert you the estimated range of price, right? So this is how those models are predicted. Even your second hand or the used vehicles valuation, this is how the predictions are done. So use the endpoint to predict the house price based on the new input feature. So this is why how it is going to helpful for going with the ML based projects. We can go with SageMaker. Okay, so by the end we'll go and try to understand some practical things, how exactly we can go and do all the things, how we can create the domain, how we can go and access the notebooks, and how we can run everything. Okay. So, we'll go and try to understand in practical things so we can be more familiar with the UI of SageMaker. Okay, so by navigating things, just log on to your AWS console and try to type AWS SageMaker. Okay, that is SageMaker. So here we have three similar or the related one. So one is Amazon SageMaker platform, the Center for Data Analytics and AI. And SageMaker AI is building, training, and deploying the model. So this is the base one. This is the platform. From here also you can able to navigate to this one, or just if you want you can directly go with it. And let me show you both. So this is the SageMaker, that is the platform thing. Fine. This is the SageMaker AI platform. Okay, we just saw right here the SageMaker platform. Here it is. So if you want, either you can create the domain here itself, or else you can just navigate to domain here also. From here also you can able to create the domain. Okay, so we will try to go and create the domain, and we will try to see whether it is going to accessible here or not. Fine. So manual setup things. So enter the domain name. We'll type as demo testing. Create the user existing one. Okay. Fine. Now the demo is created. Okay. Now what we can see here, so the platform domain is completely different from the that is the Amazon SageMaker AI domain. Okay, so fine. Here we have the option called Open Unified Studio. So here we have the single sign-in option. So where you can integrate all your applications under one roof and try to access the things. Okay, so here we have a great the notebook, generative apps like things, so data or the AI governance, data processing and all. So we'll try to create some notebook, and we don't have anything, so create notebook only by accessed with the project content, select an existing or create the new one. Okay, so now we'll go and create the new project. Okay, now the continue, no project profile is selected. Okay, so we have not created any project profile yet. Okay, so here we need to create it also. So create data analytics, or if you are going with the SQL analytics or a generative AI application, you need to select the template. Okay, or if you have the custom one, you can go and just go with that also. And the region and the account. Okay, next is blueprint deployment and all. Okay, so this is completely into a studio one. Okay, so this is completely into the IDE and the different application like things. So here we are not going with any of the studio like things. Okay, so okay, okay. Now the things are here, and we'll go and refresh the things whether we can able to get it or not. No, still. So now we have just created the demo profile and it's been enabled, and we'll try to access here. Okay, now it is getting fetched. See here. So tooling, data lake, Redshift server, so workflow, ML experiment. So these are all the base things we can go and have it by creating the things also. Okay, now we are just creating the things. So whatever the things we go and do while using the Anaconda IDE, the same thing will be going with here, and it will be chargeable. Okay, so fine. So post creation will be deleting. So here they are taking the Redshift server for analyzing the data and all the things. And here they have created the namespace, that is the work group, and the BlueDB things. It's an option they have tell. And this is the storage things they have taken, and the retention policies. We don't. We just make it two. Okay. Why 2 is not taken? I don't think so. The possible values. Okay, so what are the values they had given here? You need to choose the value same here like that, and here it will going to go with the code commit also. That is to pull the things. Okay, so here I will be going with the further creation because it will be chargeable for me. So just I will show you people, and you can go ahead with the things. Okay. So we'll be closing here and go here. We just delete the things, and this is completely India Studio One. Okay, what are the things we just done right now? Okay, now we'll delete the domain also. This is Sagemaker Studio. Okay, the Center for Data Analytics and AI thing. So from here only you can able to navigate to Sagemaker AI or Drake, Redshift, EM, Glue, antenna and the lake formation thing. Okay, so these are all completely related to your data thing. So data collection, data processing, data filtration, formatting things, and module training, everything. For that, we'll be going here, and this is the different service provided by the thing. So okay, so either you can just click here and it will navigate to the same thing, or from the console itself you can just go here for direct things. So if you want, that is, you just go for Amazon SageMaker platform only when you have already module have been done. So if you want to build from scratch, you just go with SageMaker AI. Okay, so this is the center for data analytics and AI. So this is the center for building your own things. Okay, so see here, so it will come and land us in the same thing. So just getting started. Yeah, we'll go and so, okay. So either you can go and create the roles and do the things also, or else directly you can go and see here. If you are, this is the landing page. Either you can go here for domain and you can create, or else from the landing page of the service also you can go with setup for single user or setup for organization. So if you're going with the organization user, they are asking us to go with the studio thing. So previously we have launched, right, and we deleted, right. So they are asking us to do that. Look here, see. So the same prompt have been appeared there. So we don't want to go with organization setup, we'll go with the single one. So if you want to go with organization setup, we can directly come and set up the things here. Okay. So see the continue with the data zone. Previously it has been called. So it will initially it will take quite time to create. So directly it's been launched to create domain things. Okay. So preparing SageMaker domain. So by default it is creating the domain here. So the status should be updated. Okay. We'll pause for the moment till the creations get complete. It will take some time actually. So now the status is ready. So that is the platform or the environment got created, and by default here the user is created. So in studio we have go there and we created the, that is the user profile or the project thing, right. So but here it is got created by default, and now we can go and look here and getting started. If I hit, okay, so if I go and select the notebook or the studio, see here, so automatically the profile is created. So when we define the things, okay, so either you can go with this, and we just come across why should we go with the studio or the canvas or studio tensor board profiler and all, right. Okay, we'll go with notebook. Before that, we'll go and open the note, that is the documentation thing. Okay, getting started. So fine. So here we are now in the things. Okay, so you can just go and select the things on which you want to work. Okay, so if you want to work with the studio, you can just go with migration from Amazon SageMaker Studio Classic. You can just go. So it's all lengthy process. Okay, as of now we'll be going with the notepad instance. Okay. Okay, here it is. Create an Amazon instance. So if you don't know anything how you want to create a things, you can just follow the documentation. Fine. Else you can go with things. So they had provided here create the notebook instance like things. Okay. So post creation you have the option to create either stop or delete, and that is update like things. Okay. So notebook volume, all those things. Okay. So now we'll go and create the notebook. We don't want this, and we'll hit create notebook instance. We'll take demo and we'll go with this is the medium. Okay, we'll go with the default thing. Same color, everything. So here I just have gone with the default settings, and I don't want any other things to be gone with. Okay, so here also it will take some times to get create. So by default, I have gone with 5 GB of elastic block storage, and it is scalable one. Okay. So now the status has changed to in service, and you can go link the Git repository also, and you can go and update or remove the that is the permissions or the role. And here is the network details. So direct internet access, no custom VPC selected update. So I have gone with the default one, and if you want to go and watch the log, you can just go here. Now we'll try to open Jupyter Lab. So that is the IDE we'll be going to use now. Okay, so we are done with creating the Jupyter notebook, and we'll go and prepare the dataset. So just for your practice purpose, you just go and do the things. So fine now. Okay, we'll go with con 3. Here we have we'll go and try to do this. So using the sharp library import adult census data as shown below. Okay. So before that we'll move back and try to. Okay. Okay, now open the notebook, Jupyter Lab and file menu, choose new and then choose notebook and select the kernel, choose Conda 3. So we have already taken that here from notebook and we taken the Conda 3. Okay, so fine, we'll move on. Just ignore the things. Okay, and we'll go and try to import the dataset. So if you want to look into the status of the process, you just monitor here. So now the data set has been done. That is data preparation thing. Now we are done. Okay. Now overview the data set. That is they are asking us to view the complete data. Okay. So here we have the age, work class, education number, material status, and the discount, mean, standard, median, everything. Okay, along with that also we do have the tables here. You can just modify the values if you want and rerun the things and the graph will be different one. Look here. So if we update it into 20, it will be like different one. See. So now split the data set into train, validation and test data. Okay. So now we are going with splitting the data. Okay, so look here, we don't have any other file, so by running all the things we can make our rest of the thing. Okay, okay, and it here. Okay, so now check if the data set is split and structured as expected. Okay, we will run the train module and we'll see. So okay, income age as they specify here. Okay, now it is good, and we'll go and validate the data. Yeah, fine, it's working good. Now we'll go and test the data. Oh, even the test has been done. Now we'll convert the train and validation dataset to CSV file. So here we will be going with the whatever the data we have done, the module of training everything. So it will go and needs to, that is the first column is executed to be, sorry, expected to be the output thing. Okay, that is train.csv. Index is false, hard response. Okay, so convert the train and validation data frame objects is match the input file format from the XGBooster algorithm. So it is using the predefined booster. So upload the dataset to the Amazon S3. So probably we cannot go and directly upload the things because we haven't set any data or we have not defined anything. Okay, now we'll go inside the domain. Okay, so look here, since JB just created the notepad, automatically the networking part is get created, and here is the user, and here is the space management. We'll go look inside the user what we have. Okay, here only we do have the S3 option to link our bucket. I don't think so. Where it is? App configuration. Yes. And distributor. So either you can go and pull the image, Docker image also. Next is okay. Okay. Yeah, here we have. So we can add up to 10 S3 bucket to attach cross policy like things. Okay, so either you can go with a manual thing. So the above S3 bucket may already have exist in the policy order to ensure new stream experience things and all. Okay. So now we are done with converting the things to .csv file, and now we'll go and try to upload the data into S3 bucket. Okay, no. So look here, so it's already been created. So now we'll go inside the data and see here train.csv, validation.csv things are existing here. That is train.csv, validation.csv file. And here we have some warnings too, that using warning field name JSON thing. Okay, that is the things got updated here, data and the validation thing. Okay, now run the following AWS CLI to check if the CSV files are successfully uploaded to. So if you want to cross verify from here itself whether the things are done, you just pass this command and should be able to see. Look here. So this is the where your data or the train data will be stored. You can view later. Okay. So we are done with preparing the data set, and you can just go and train the model too. So for that to run the model of training import, we need to import the Python SDK from different one. So here you need to follow the procedure to go with it. Okay, so this is the prerequisite we required to go this one. Okay, so I will leave this for you people as an assignment. Just go and try this and just follow the instruction here, and it will work because before we go with the demonstration, I have already done with creating all these things, and you just go and check. And if you have any queries, please do drop the message. I will go and will record this also. Thank you all.